So this right here is the brand new Nitecore EDC29, and let me tell you, I've thoroughly enjoyed my time with this new flashlight. But in this video, I want to go over some of the features, some of the pros, and some of the cons, and let you know what I think about this new flashlight. And it does come with a USB Type A to Type C charging cable, and a pretty cool paracord lanyard right here with a small carabiner, but let's put all this off to the side right there. And I'm going to give you guys a nice close-up of the brand new EDC29 from Nitecore. And while you guys are checking this out, let's talk about some of the features. All right, so the EDC29 has a maximum output of 6,500 lumens, a maximum throwing distance of 400 meters, a max intensity of 40,230 candela, and a max runtime of 61 hours on ultra low. And pushing out those 6,500 lumens are dual Nightlab UHI 20 max LEDs with 9 cores per LED. It has 6 brightness levels plus strobe, and everything is controlled with dual stage, dual tail switches. It has a built-in 2,500 milliamp hour lithium-ion battery that can be charged right through the USB Type-C charging port right on the body. And that body is now made from a PVD titanium-coated stainless steel. It has an impact resistance of 1 meter and has a dust and waterproof rating of IP54. All right, let's talk dimensions. It comes in at 5.26 inches by 1.36 inches and has a thickness of 0.76 inches. All right, now let's weigh this bad boy. Plop it on a scale. So 5.6 ounces. And in grams, it comes out to be 160 grams. And that has a lot to do with that stainless steel body and that 2,500 milliamp hour lithium ion battery. And before I get started here, I just want to do a quick size comparison with the previous EDC25, 27, 27 UHI with the 29. And here's an overhead shot of the length differences between all 4 of these flashlights. Very, very similar, but it looks like the EDC29 is slightly shorter than the rest of these flashlights here. And there's definitely a different aesthetic here with the brand new EDC29 compared to the previous wedge style flashlights that Nitecore has released. You can see the stainless steel body now looks like it has an armor plating on it. I think it looks really, really cool. It maintains the same textured grips on the side and everything, but just real quick, you can see the differences between the 29 and the 27 UHI right there. It just looks really cool with this new design. So let me show you quickly some of the noteworthy features right here. Of course, it has the OLED display right there that is locked out, and that's one brand new feature that you're going to hear me talk about that I'm a huge fan of, and that is the new rapid lock mechanical lockout switch right here. We saw this on the EDC33 and the 35, but this is the first time Nitecore is putting it on one of their wedge style flashlights. And spoiler, one of my favorite new features of the EDC29 here. It has a 2-stage lockout. There's a half lockout and a full lockout. Right now, when it's pushed up, it's a full lockout, as you can see right there. And to unlock, just push it down. And now we have access to all of our brightness levels here. And I love this multifunctional OLED display Nitecore puts on their flashlights. It's just so handy. It has 5 different readouts. It basically shows you the battery life, the lumen level, and so on and so forth. And it also has one of my favorite features that carry over from the EDC27 UHI right here, and that is the pre-selected lumen levels without turning on the flashlight. You can see I'm not turning on the flashlight. I'm just half pressing that power button right there, and I can pre-select what mode I want, and once I find it, fully press, and I go to that mode. It is awesome. I praise that on the EDC27 UHI here, and I'm glad to see that with the brand new 29. So now let's talk about the very familiar dual stage, dual tail switches right here. This is the power button, and this is what they're calling the tactical customizable button. I'll quickly go over the UI in just a little bit, and we'll talk about this a little bit further, but if you guys had any one of the previous wedge style flashlights, you're gonna be very familiar with this system. And right next to the OLED display is the USB Type-C charging port right there. And that leads me to the 2,500 milliamp hour lithium-ion battery that's, of course, built in. I feel like a broken record at this point. Every single flashlight in Nitecore's EDC series has had a built-in battery. So I'm not going to spend too much time on it. I'm sure you guys are sick of hearing me complain about that. But guess what's going in the negative category at the end of this video? I have no idea. And then check out the pocket clip right here. So there's a lot of tension on this pocket clip. So I do like that. It's almost too strong right here, almost too much strength on that pocket clip. Not exactly deep carry. You can see there's almost about 1.5 inches from where it ends to the top of the Nitecore EDC29. So that's pretty excessive, but right at the end of that pocket clip, you can see the lanyard attachment. And going back to how much sticks above your pocket here, let me bring in the 27 UHI right here. So you can see, actually let me turn them to the side here, like this. So you can see just how much more the 29 is going to hang above your pocket. That's crazy. And now let me give you guys a nice close-up of those dual Nightlab UHI 20 Max LEDs. So there's 9 cores per LED. The core right dead center is responsible for the spotlight, and the 8 cores that surround it are responsible for the floodlight. And let me tell you, this flashlight is bright. 6,500 lumens is ridiculously bright. Even though you're only getting a few seconds at that 6,500 lumens, it's still very, very impressive. All right, I'll pop up on the screen right now the lumens and runtime information. I'm not going to go over everything here, but let's just go over the lumens. So ultra low is 15 lumens, low is 100. The sweet spot at mid is 400 lumens, which is fantastic with that 3-hour runtime. High is 1200 lumens, has a runtime of 2 hours. And then you have your search, which is a spotlight, and your lumen shield, which is your floodlight. The 3000 lumen spotlight is where you get your max 400 meter throw and 40,230 candela. And then the super bright 6500 lumen shield has a 370 meter throw with a candela of 35,360. No runtimes for either one of those, because what I'll show you in a second is just a very short timer that pops up when you hit those modes. So the flashlight will only give you so much time on spotlight and floodlight until it gets too hot to operate. So it just knows when to step itself down. So technically this is a 1200 lumen flashlight with a 3000 and 6500 lumen burst. But what I'll show you outside is that mid at 400 lumens, 90% of the time I'll be in that mode anyway. So 400 lumens, 3 hours, I love it. And then you can see strobe right there at the end, 6500 lumen strobe. That is a nasty bright strobe light. So I'm just gonna quickly run over the UI here, make sure the rapid lock mechanical switch is down, that has it unlocked. And if you wanna preset your light, like I showed you earlier, just half press that power button. Ultra low, low, mid, and high. And if you want to select any one of those levels, just give it a full press once you hit it, and there we go. But once it's on, you do the same thing to cycle through those brightness levels. Just give it a little half press on that power button. So full click to turn it off. If you want to go right to ultra low, just half press and hold. There's a momentary ultra low 15 lumens. And it does have a brightness level memory for the 4 cyclable lighting levels. So if I put it on mid 400, turn it off, turn it right back on, it goes right back to mid. And now the tactical customizable button. That's where you're gonna reach the spotlight and floodlight mode. So give it a half press. I'm gonna show you the screen first. Man, that is bright, 3000 lumens. Sorry, and there's the timer. See, you're only getting a few seconds right there, and then it steps down. Now it's gonna fill itself back up. When it's ready, you can do it again. Half press, right there. So you guys get the idea here. Now the full press, you can either customize to strobe or 6500 lumen shield. I have the 6500 lumen mode programmed there right now. So if I full press, oh my God, right there. See the same timer, and that's your limit right about there, steps down. And then you can see just how long it takes to fill back up. So I'll probably speed that up in post, but it took a long time for that to reach full level again. And this thing is getting hot. So just so you guys know, I need to buy a new thermal camera. So I'm not going to do a heat and turbo test in this video, but this is getting very, very hot. So be careful using that spotlight or floodlight mode over and over again. This will get hot. Now let me show you how to switch the 6500 lumens to strobe. What you want to do is fully press the tactical customizable button and then fully press the power button. I'm going to do this over to the side so I don't strobe you. Full press, then boom, there we go. So now I just switched it over to strobe. So this would be one of my negatives, not having instant access to strobe and that 6500 lumens. But honestly, guys, this is so fast to switch. I mean, it's that fast. So I'm going to leave that out of the negatives category. I was going to do it, but I was like, man, it's just so fast and easy. It's fine. But honestly, I still would like to see a instant access to strobe and instant access to spotlight and lumen shield. All right, now let's take this bad boy outside. I'm going to test out my new iPhone as well. So I usually record the beam shots on my iPhone. I've been using the iPhone 13 Pro for about 3 years, and I just picked up the iPhone 16 Pro. So I'm going to check this out and see how well this does outside in the dark with this light. So let's go. Also, I'm going without my microphone, and I'm testing out the new mic on this iPhone 16 Pro. So nothing you guys have to worry about, just from my own knowledge. I'm basically using this video as a experiment. But oh boy, oh, look at that right there. You guys see him? Let me look at him. There he goes. He was right there. Sorry, buddy, I didn't mean to blind you, but get out of here. I'm doing a flashlight video. Yeah, all right, so let's start at ultra low. There's ultra low right there. All right, now let's go to low. All right, and automatically you can start to see that hotspot right there. Pretty well-defined hotspot. And let me see. Oh yeah, easily hitting that tree right there. So I'll put up the distance between me and that tree right there, and then, oh yeah, easy. Hitting that barn right there as well. So I'm just taking a look at the perimeter here. I'll hold the camera still and pan it. Fairly wide. And fairly even as well. Check that out. So it's got a nice even spill from that hot spot right there. So let me move on from low. And then there's mid. So this is what I like to call the sweet spot. I spend most of my time here. And yeah, 3 hours, 400 lumens. That's plenty for everyday use, in my opinion. All right. Color temperature is a white light. It's not warm at all, but it's not extra cool either. Looks like it's an actual white light. So it's right around, I would say, 44, 4500 Kelvin. All right, and then let's move on to high. So 1200 lumens. Oh yeah. That deer ran away. They usually hang out right there in that little section. But if you guys watch my videos, you guys already know that you'll see critters out here all the time. Over here, I see a bunch of raccoons at night, and they're crapping all over the front of my studio. In fact, I'm just going to show you. I'm just going to walk over and show you what these idiots are doing. So this is the front of my studio here. And look at this. Look at this. And it's all down here. I'm going to blacktop this. That's why I haven't really done a lot with this section. I'm going to blacktop it next spring. But look, they're using this rocky area as their personal toilet. I mean, come on, guys. Really. I see them back here all night, hopping around, eating bugs in this little section. But then they come over here and use the bathroom, and I don't like it. All right, anyways. So let's go to, that's 1200 lumen high. Let's go to 3000 lumen spotlight. All right, there we go. So we're going to get a very limited time here. So there's the barn. And just step down, do it again. Yeah, I only get a couple seconds. You got to wait for that to fill up. And then do it again. 3000 lumen spotlight. It's getting pretty warm in my hands here. So next, I'm going to give it a couple seconds and then go to 6500 lumen shield. And it's bright. It is really, really bright. So let's go. 6500 lumens. Oh my God. That is absolutely insane. It is just so bright. I really wish it lasted longer, and it's going to take a while for that to fill up. A good 20 seconds, I would say, maybe even more. So I'm going to try. I'm not going to wait that long. I'm going to try it again real quick. Wow. and my hands are on fire. So there you go. I'm gonna take this to the other side of the building. Let's go. All right, what are my thoughts on the EDC29? Let's go over the pros first. The first pro is that 6500 lumen shield mode. That flood mode is ridiculous. It is super bright. Yes, you're only getting about, I don't know, about 7-8 seconds of that 6500 lumens, but man, is that bright. Yes, this is a 1200 lumen flashlight. You're getting about 2 hours at that 1200 lumens, 3 hours at that 400 lumen middle level. But if you need to turn night into day really quickly, just hit that 6500 lumens and you can see everything. The next pro, and maybe my favorite of the bunch, is this rapid lock mechanical lockout button right here. This is the reason why I love the EDC 33 and the 35 so much. Just instantly lock it out. No funky little button presses or anything like that. No twisting the head halfway. Just click it up, locked out. And another pro is the brightness presets right here. We can just preset whatever level you want to go to and then just full press, and then it goes right to that brightness level, as we saw on the previous EDC27 UHI. I'm really glad to see that they kept that here with the new EDC29. Now let's go over some of the cons, and you guys already know the built-in battery is always going to be a negative in my book. I'm not really sure what Nitecore can do to keep this wedge design and give us a battery that's replaceable. I don't know, but it's still a negative in my book. Next, the IP rating. It's IP54, and once again, I sound like a broken record here. The 5 is great. It means it's almost dust-proof. That's not my problem. The 4, waterproof, is my problem. The 4 basically means it's splash-proof. It can't even handle water jets hitting this, and I think the official term is it's splash proof, but only up to like 3 minutes or something. I have it pulled up right here. Protected against sprays of water up to 60 degrees from the vertical limited ingress permitted for 3 minutes. That sucks, especially something designed to be carried every day. If you get caught in a thunderstorm, I'm not sure this would survive. It probably would survive, but I know for sure that OLED display would be toast because I've heard some stories. I haven't been unlucky enough to be caught in the rain with an EDC flashlight from Nitecore, but like I said, I've heard things. So for me to be happy with a flashlight, especially carrying this every day, it has to be at IP6, 7, or 8. 4, in my opinion, is just too low and unacceptable. I was gonna put not having instant access to strobe and the 6500 lumen shield together in the negative section, but like I said, I will leave that out, but it's close to being a negative. But my new negative as of doing this video is just how much top sticks out above your pocket when you have the pocket clip inside of your pocket there. That's just too much right there. That is silly. So I'm sure Nitecore has the reasons for lowering down that pocket clip, but that is just too much sticking up over your pockets there. So if those negatives don't bug you, I think you're getting a pretty awesome flashlight here. The price is $109.95, basically 110 bucks, which honestly isn't a bad price for what you're getting here. Even in limited quantities, that 6500 lumen burst is just awesome. So am I gonna carry this? Yeah, I'm gonna carry this for a little bit just because this fits so nicely in your pockets, just like all the other flashlights, the wedge style flashlights from Nitecore. All right, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. What do you think of the brand new Nitecore EDC29? Now, if you want to check this out for yourself, I will put links down below in my description box. But if you did enjoy this video, please give me that thumbs up. Please subscribe. And I just want to say that I didn't really mean to shine that bright light on the deer back there. I just wanted to show you guys what I see sometimes. And, you know, ultra low just wasn't showing you that deer very clearly. You know, I have a zoo back there sometimes. Deer, raccoon, there's coyote I've seen back there. Just everything you can think of is back in my yard at night. I just wanted to mention that because I know somebody in my comments is going to be like, oh, you blinded the deer. Well, I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to. And go!